Jalen Green, to me, has always been – you got to remember, the kid just turned 23 years old. He just turned 23.
Uh-huh.
He's different. Everybody says, oh, he's a shooting guard. He's different because he attacks the basket. He does attack the basket. He's a little bit different than Book. He did not have a great series. He had one great game, but he did not have a great series overall. They want to trade him. My belief is that they want to trade him. I believe the contract was put together for him so that they could trade him. So he'd be the big money that they could move in any type of contract. Look, I think Houston's still the team to watch because of Udoka, because of the assets that they have. They have a lot of first-round draft picks coming up. They've got good young players. I like Jabari Smith. I like Eason. I don't think you could get Eason. Shepard and Whitmore, they didn't play a whole lot, so I'm not really sure about them. I don't think Shepard had a hard time getting on the court because he can't play any defense. But there are talented guys on that roster. You'd be able to make a decent trade with the Houston Rockets, in my opinion, if you wanted to move Durant. If Durant wanted to go there and if they wanted Durant.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're going to hyper-focus on the Rockets, I think, just because they're new, they're fresh. They got eliminated just yesterday, right? So they moved to the front of the line, and it's the way they got eliminated that I think moves them to the front of the line. They struggled to score the basketball. It was they did a decent job defensively on Golden State at times during this series, but because it was just such a struggle for them to create offense, it's just a natural landing spot for Kevin Durant. My hope is that there are multiple teams that want Kevin Durant, and there are multiple places he wants to go, and the Suns can try to create some kind of a bidding war, some kind of action where they're playing teams. Again, I swear my greatest fear in all of this is that one team's going to lock in on Durant, and he's going to lock in on one team, and it's going to be about that. And if it's just about one team, the Suns are going to really struggle to even come close to winning this thing. It can't just be one franchise you're dealing with. So I hope it's not just the Rockets. The Rockets have assets. There's no question. There's interesting things on the Rockets roster that might come in part of the conversation. I want lots of teams to be in on this. I hope they are.
I think a lot of teams will be in on it, but I think you hit on something. It's a question of how many teams does Durant want to play for.
Yeah.
Hey, Minnesota Timberwolves are interested. I don't want to be in the cold weather in November, December, January, February. What does Durant want? That's going to factor in there. Hopefully, there'll be several teams that he is interested in going to. What if the Knicks lose this series to the Boston Celtics? Could they be interested?
Right.
I think there will be several teams that want Kevin Durant. He's still a great, great player. One of the best scorers in the league. Still a top 10 player in the NBA. It's just a matter of where is he going to want to go.
There was a great offseason guide this morning on ESPN.com that kind of looked at Houston and basically asking the same question that we're asking right now. The question is if relying on continuity is good enough to compete for a championship. And that's what Houston's faced with right now. Hey, we weren't in the playoffs since 2020. We were a number 2 seed in the Western Conference. Isn't there a conversation to be had of just keeping this thing together and seeing what another year of continuity can do? Or is now the time to go add a Kevin Durant, especially since the price isn't going to be nearly as high as it was when the Suns acquired Kevin Durant 3 years ago. And it's not going to be nearly as high.
Giannis?
The Giannis thing is a complicating factor.
Where does he want to go?
Where does he want to go? And where does he want to go? But then you look at that and go, yes, I could spend all of this and get Giannis, or I could spend half of that and get Kevin Durant, Or does Kevin Durant, and these are all the questions you have to consider. Does Kevin Durant come in and mess with your chemistry? Does he mess with your room? Does he mess with your locker room? It hasn't been a banner last few years for Kevin Durant when it comes to that. Not that everything that's gone wrong in Brooklyn or here was his fault, but let's be grown-ups here. It hasn't worked. There's a lot of reasons why it hasn't worked. I think Kevin Durant's ability when it comes to the chemistry in the room has been a part of that. And you have to consider that if you're Houston.
So the Rockets, they're free agents of Fred VanVleet. That's a tough one. He's got a $44.9 million team option. Now,
he said he wants to be back.
He wants to be back. He's a terrific player. I've always liked VanVleet. I think the Houston guy that was on Bickley and Murata today said maybe they do a deal where he comes back and they do a 2 or 3 year deal, but it's not $45 million a year. The other free agents are Steven Adams, who's done a good job for them. Jeff Green, they could let go. Aaron Holiday, they could let go. Deshaun Tate, Jack McGee, Dante. They could let go of all these guys. They have 5 5 players on rookie contracts.
Smith, Eason, Shepard, Cam Whitmore, and Amen Thompson, right?
Right.
Those are the 5?
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Right. Then they have 5 tradable firsts in the next 7 years. 3 of them are Phoenix's picks.
Right.
Like they've got 3 of Phoenix's picks coming up.
And then when it comes to matching numbers for the contract, Dylan Brooks makes $21 million. Jalen Green, we just talked about him. He makes $33 million. Alperen Şengün makes $34 million. I mean, there are so. I mean, in many ways, Houston kind of offers you the buffet if you're the Phoenix Suns. What do you want? You want draft picks? They have them. You want young players? They have them. You want contracts to match Kevin Durant because you're going to need. They have that too. I mean, in some ways, that's what makes them the perfect partner because you could cobble together a couple of those contracts, take on a young player or two, maybe a draft pick off their hand or a different combination, but something like that, because they could make it work if they're motivated to do it, if they feel like messing with what they've built by adding Kevin Durant. Yeah. I don't know.
You know, you could also, if you're able to get like a Reed Reed couldn't get on the floor for them, Reed Shepard.
Plus he got hurt too, didn't he?
He did, but he played like 50-something games. He didn't average any minutes because he just couldn't play defensively. But if you got Reed Shepard or you got Whitmore, you'd have, they could be tradable players too because of the contracts that they're on. I like Jalen Green a little bit. He doesn't play much defense. Jabari would be great. I like Jabari Smith. Jalen Green, again, he plays the same position as Book. He just plays it a little bit differently because he likes to attack the rim more than Book likes to attack the rim. But it's still 2 shooting guards. It's not ideal.
My guess is that, I know you're not getting Amen Thompson. Forget it. My guess is you're not getting Jabari Smith. And my guess is that you would be lucky if you got one of your draft picks back from them in a Kevin Durant trade. I don't think you'd get any more than one of your picks back in that deal if you sent him Kevin Durant.
I agree. I think that I think you could get 1 first-round draft pick back, but I don't know that you can get more than 1. And I don't know that you're going to get this year's back. If I'm Houston, I got a top 10 pick this year. I'm not trading that pick. I'm not giving you that pick.
Yeah,
I got a top 10 pick.
Oh yeah, no. If they, well, so you're saying even if they don't win the lottery, you can't have this year's pick?
That's a pretty good pick.
Okay. Because obviously, if they win the lottery, forget it. It's completely out of not happening then. But even at the number 10 spot or number 11 spot, depending on where it ends up, you're not trading that pick if you're Houston.
Well, because I think that on that guy that you had, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 free agents. Maybe you bring back 2 of them. You still got roster spots to fill. I'd like to fill it with a top 10 pick.
Yeah. It's and the salaries that match too. Şengün, is he gettable? Can you get Alperen Şengün?
No,
and I don't think so either. I think he's kind of in. The really interesting name is Dylan Brooks, because he's a punk, but boy, he would add some punkiness to a basketball team that had none of it.
No,
none of it. He's an absolute punk. Boy, he would add.
On your team, you'd like him.
edge.
On anybody else's team, you hate him.
Yeah.
He's a pain in the ass.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.